To pursue a career in any creative field, you have to be on the ball, finger on the pulse, and I think that's what Creative Calderdale has got.
I would be bereft if Creative Calderdale scaled down any of its activities.
I'm impressed that there was somebody there, or a team of people there, who had the vision and the commitment to come up with this model. They obviously understood that there was a hole in the market, if you like, for this type of forum.
We made a decision to move here because of what we saw, things like Dean Clough, the innovations going on at the Peace Hall, the Elsie Whiteley Centre, tapping into Creative Calderdale.
Creative Calderdale for me were, from seeing the site and seeing how they were pushing sort of new business and trying to encourage sort of the technology side of it. I just didn't think there was anything like that going on around here.
I just came to one of the meetings initially. I mean, that's a great thing about Creative Calderdale. It's free networking, and that's what it's all about when you're in a business. You've got to network.
It's different to your usual networking circuit, first of all, and I think they got the balance right between networking and event. A lot of networking events are too much networking, but principally, all businesses can benefit from speaking to creative people and becoming more creative themselves.
What's unique about Creative Calderdale is they bring some very high-profile speakers, and I think that gives businesses in Calderdale an opportunity to see people at the very highest level.
They're very well attended, they're very friendly, they're very well organised. The speakers tend to be very relevant. They tend to talk the language that you understand.
It's equivalent to London, and in many ways it's more accessible, and you can get a seat at the talks, because in British Library you'd have to book up 2 months in advance to see someone like Nick Powell we saw last month. Here you get a seat in the curry.
I'd certainly say, when you compare it to some of the other networking events, the atmosphere is really different. It's a lot, well, maybe not friendlier, but it's a lot more welcoming, and it's the people there are so curious about what you do, and you will get asked questions.
The first one I went to in Hebden Bridge I was impressed with. They had Patrick Burgoyne in, who was the editor of Creative View, and you know, I thought it was a really impressive event.
The speakers that they have in as well, like the Nick Powells and the Krista Ackroyds, and local people that are from this area that have done well and aspired to great things. If they can get more people in like that and inspire more people like me and inspire younger people that are just starting off, I think that's great, yeah.
You will pick up something different. Usually they're quite entertaining as well. You know, the speakers are always brilliant. You will learn something, and I think that's how you've got to look at, you know, a networking event or just any kind of business event. If you're going to take away something you can use in your business the very next day, which you will, why not go along?
And then each event since then has just progressively just got bigger and bigger. And the last one, I did so much networking. There seemed to be so many people wanting to come up and have a chat.
I think they've brought me business opportunities, and they've inspired me to do the things that I want to do, to try and achieve the things I want to achieve.
It's benefited us because it's amazing how much talent there is actually in the area. You know, we don't have to go looking for talent in London or Manchester or Leeds. You know, there's a plethora of people out there locally.
The fact that they've got me in here and made me aware of this place, and I've up sticks, moved my business here. I've picked up all business from the other clients that were in the building, which, you know, now some of them are regular clients now.
I've got a presence on their website, so I do have some business exposure from that. And also I've met many people through Creative Calderdale, people from the council, for example, who've given me some really good contacts into various businesses.
First of all, it's given us a platform to engage with, like, the whole creative sector, which, you know, it's difficult to do unless you're a creative business, and we're in HR. I mean, we try and do HR in a creative way, but you know, it's not that creative really. So it's been able to access that, meet some really interesting people with some really good ideas.
The focus at Creative Calderdale is not just on the professional speaker, let's say, who would come as the main attraction, but also there's an opportunity for other local small businesses to actually pitch.
We did a pitch once at Tom Town Hall, and that was great exposure once again. And talking to people who work in the creative industry, they ask you questions you're not used to answering, and it's really educational, and it makes you think about your own business.
The showcasing, which is great to promote your work.
The website's great, they're very responsive. If there are things you need to put up there, they can certainly, you know, we've used it to publicise quite a few different things here and there. I think they do a really good job, and also you've got to consider it's free. So, you know, first and foremost, you know, you can't complain at that.
Obviously, as a small company where, you know, you've got to keep your overheads down, you know, any memberships, any networks you can get involved with that aren't costing you, then brilliant, you know, you'll leap at them.
I can't, you know, say highly enough how surprised I've been with the quality of support available here and the passion of the people that are involved in the local economies.
I can only see it growing. You know, it's one of these situations where it's a bit like a rock rolling down a hill. It's going to grow and it's going to get faster and faster and faster. And more people who are introduced to it, they'll talk to other people, they'll introduce them to it, and I would hope and feel that the membership would grow, the events would get bigger, and that it's got a long-term future.
If a scheme like Creating Calderdale can keep going in this climate, I think it should, absolutely, then I think there's a really great future for the area in terms of a creative and business hub.
You've just got to come to this little pocket between, you know, sandwiched between Manchester and Leeds and check it out, because it's, you know, it's the place to be if you want to be creative.